You guys, this changes everything. Finally, we have a solution to actually address nerve pain and decrease the symptoms of nerve pain. So if you've been around here for a while, you're familiar with the Convalin method and how we want to deal with the root issue that's causing your pain. However, up until now, we have not had something that would actually eliminate your nerve pain. I'm talking sciatica pain, peripheral neuropathy, carpal tunnel symptoms, even diabetic neuropathy. It may be pain that travels all the way down your arm. It may be pain that's just in your hands and your feet, but we now have a tool that directly addresses the nerve pain. It's called Stimpod, and how it works is it helps to reset the nerve to eliminate the pain. Think of it like when your computer is acting up and you don't know exactly what's going on or how to fix it. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to restart your computer. And a lot of the times, thankfully, that actually helps to fix the problem. So that's what Stimpod does. It helps to reset the nerve, because what we now know about chronic pain, or pain that's even gone on for longer than a week, is that you get into this loop. And even if we can deal with the initial stimulus of the pain, it will continue looping. It just gets stuck there. And it feels like no matter what you do to try to help your sciatica, or what you do to try to eliminate your carpal tunnel syndrome, it never seems to stay away. With this tool, it is a game changer in that it can actually help to reset the nerve and eliminate your pain. But it's not just that. It has two different currents that it's using. One to reset the pain, which is actually helping the nerve to heal. And of course, as the nerve heals for the long term, you won't have those issues anymore. The great thing is that you can walk into our clinic with raging hot sciatica symptoms, and you can walk out of the clinic pain-free. Now, it may take more than one treatment for you to maintain that pain-free. However, how awesome would it be even to have a relief of your symptoms for just a couple hours? It would help to restore your hope that this problem could be solved in the long term. It will help to decrease anxiety and depression and frustration and anger. And as your mind starts feeling better, your body also will feel better, which is another thing that I love to use Stimpod for. This is probably one of my favorite things that I didn't even know about before I got it. And that is vagal nerve stimulation. So our vagus nerve is our chill out nerve. So when you're in fight or flight, if you do some deep breaths, that stimulates the vagus nerve because it travels through the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is that big breathing muscle. So it stimulates the vagus nerve, which then the vagus nerve says, hey everybody, let's just chill out a little bit, which calms the whole system down. It gets you out of fight or flight, it improves digestion and respiration and your basic functioning, which obviously when you're in fight or flight, you're trying to run away from the bear, you don't need to worry so much about digestion. Not only that though, with the Stimpod and how we use it for vagal nerve stimulation, it actually helps to decrease inflammation by telling the cells to release acetylcholine. Acetylcholine fights inflammation. So this has been a game changer for so many of my patients who are struggling with this chronic systemic inflammation. You know, where you always feel a little puffy and swollen, you just feel like you're lethargic and tired, and it's just hard to get motivated to do anything because you always just kind of feel bleh. By activating that vagal nerve stimulation, it decreases the inflammation, it gets you out of that fight or flight, it gives you a general sense of well-being, and again, restores that hope and confidence that you can heal. Now, they're even doing some research as to if vagal nerve stimulation can help with depression and anxiety, but that would be outside of the scope of what I actually treat. However, wouldn't that be a nice side benefit? What I can say is in the clinic, as we're using this vagal nerve stimulation, people report not only feeling better, the intensity of their symptoms decreasing, and an increase overall in their sense of well-being. But what I'm seeing clinically is that we're actually having a better response to everything else we're doing. So the very first patient that I wanted to try the Stimpod on, I wanted to do the vagal nerve stimulation. She's got a lot of issues going on, including low back pain on both sides. And I thought, hey, let's just see if we get that system to calm down a little bit, how does that impact her? Well, the interesting thing was that she felt better right after we did the Stimpod treatment. And then when she got out off the table after the rest of the treatment session, she was like, oh, I have no pain. Now, this is someone who struggles to be pain-free even moment by moment. However, the fact that she was able to maintain these results for 3 days after her first use of Stimpod was phenomenal. For her, it really was a game changer in her results from treatment. So now we've just added Stimpod into everything else we were doing, which is making everything else more effective, as well as decreasing her stress, getting her out of fight or flight, and making her just feel better on a day-to-day basis. I can't wait for you to try Stimpod and see how it helps you. And I can't wait to have your testimonial of how Stimpod has helped eliminate your nerve pain and get you back to doing what you love to do.